All right, so you're getting ready for a photography teacher interview.
That's great.
And we're here to help you prep using these RoleCatcher resources. We've got career guides, interview guides.
Oh, yeah.
Even some insights into how their AI works.
Right.
But we want to go beyond just answering questions.
Right.
We really want to dig into what those interviewers are looking for. And I think RoleCatcher can give you an edge that other candidates might not even know about.
Yeah, I think what's really interesting about this deep dive is that
Yeah.
it's not just about nailing the interview, it's about understanding what it means to be a photography teacher
Exactly.
in today's world.
So let's start by painting a picture of this role. What exactly does a photography teacher do beyond just knowing their way around a camera?
Well, the career guide really gets into this.
Okay.
You're guiding students through a whole variety of photography styles, from portraiture to landscapes, macro photography to capturing motion.
Oh, wow.
And it's not just about the technical skills.
Yeah.
It's about instilling in them a deep appreciation for the history of photography.
And helping those students find their own artistic voice.
Absolutely.
What a responsibility that is.
It is.
Plus, there's the thrill of preparing their work for exhibitions. Imagine the buzz in that classroom.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Getting ready for that.
Big time. And speaking of the classroom, the work environment itself can be quite diverse.
Okay.
You could find yourself in universities, colleges, or even vocational schools.
Some teachers even work in studios or community centers, right?
That's right. That's right. And the guide even mentions the possibility of travel for exhibitions or events.
Wouldn't that be exciting?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So now let's get to the heart of it, the interview questions.
Okay, let's do it.
We're going to tackle the top 10 from the RoleCatcher Interview Guide.
Perfect.
And we'll sprinkle in some insights on how their AI can help you craft those killer responses.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Question number 1. Tell us about your background and experience in photography. Seems simple enough.
It does.
But what are we really looking for here?
I think this question is all about gauging your qualifications and your passion. Teaching is about igniting a fire in others.
Right.
And that spark starts with your genuine love for photography.
So how should our listener approach this question without just listing off their resume?
Yeah, you want to highlight the relevant education experience achievements, absolutely.
Okay.
But don't just list them, quantify your impact. So instead of saying, I taught photography workshops, try, I designed and delivered photography workshops to over 100 students, which resulted in a 95% satisfaction rate.
Wow. Those numbers really paint a picture.
Right.
And speaking of pictures, the interviewer might even ask, what initially drew you to photography? Be ready to share that personal connection.
Oh, I love that. Absolutely. Those personal anecdotes are gold. Yeah. Okay, so question number 2. How do you approach teaching photography to students with varying skill levels? That's where things get interesting.
Yeah, because that can be a challenge.
You can.
Reaching every student in that classroom.
Absolutely. They want to see that you can assess skill levels, adapt your teaching methods, and provide that personalized support.
So how would you approach a student who's already quite advanced while still nurturing the beginners in the class?
That's a great point.
Yeah.
They might even ask you a follow-up question like, how do you create a challenging yet supportive learning environment for all students?
That's a good one.
Yeah. You could talk about tiered assignments, individualized feedback, even peer mentorship.
Oh, that's a good idea.
The key is to demonstrate that you are attuned to individual needs and that you can cultivate growth in everyone.
I like it. Okay, question 3 is all about technology. How do you incorporate technology into your photography lessons? And this is especially relevant these days with everything being so digital.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not just about knowing your way around Photoshop. It's about showcasing your understanding of the power of technology for education and how it can enhance learning.
So what are some specific examples that you would recommend mentioning?
Well, you could talk about using editing software like Lightroom or creating online portfolios, maybe even virtual galleries. And don't forget about addressing the equity of access. Not all students have the same resources. How would you ensure that everyone can participate fully?
That's a really great point. And the interviewer might even ask, what are your thoughts on the ethical implications of digital manipulation in photography? Be prepared to discuss that.
Oh, that's a good one. Absolutely. Those ethical considerations are crucial. Okay, on to question 4. Can you describe a project or assignment that you have created for your photography students? This one's your chance to shine.
I love this question.
Me too.
Because it lets you showcase your creativity as an educator.
Right.
Go beyond the typical take a portrait assignment.
Exactly. So imagine having students create a photo essay that tells a story.
Okay.
Without words, using only composition, light, and subject matter.
Oh, I like that.
Or maybe a project where they document their community from multiple perspectives, showcasing different photography styles.
Those are some really inspiring examples.
Thanks.
And this is where I think RoleCatcher's AI can come in handy. Imagine typing in your initial project idea and getting instant feedback on how to tailor it to the specific school or age group that you're applying to teach.
It's like having a brainstorming partner.
It is.
Right there in your pocket.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to question 5. How do you assess student learning and growth in your photography classes? It's not just about grades.
No, it's not. It's about understanding assessment for our learning, not just of F learning.
Right.
How do you provide feedback that helps students truly improve?
That's a good question.
So think about your methods rubrics, peer critiques, self-reflections, and how you track progress over time. Do you use student feedback on their assignments?
Oh, interesting.
To refine your teaching approach and create more engaging activities?
I love that perspective. And the interviewer might even ask, can you give a specific example of how you've used student feedback to improve your teaching? Be ready to share a concrete example.
Excellent point. Now, question 6 is becoming increasingly important these days. How do you ensure that your photography classes are inclusive and welcoming to all students?
Yeah, this one is absolutely crucial. They want to see that you value diversity, that you create a safe learning environment where everyone feels comfortable sharing their perspectives.
Absolutely. You could discuss incorporating diverse examples in your curriculum.
Okay.
Being mindful of language and representation and addressing any instances of bias proactively.
The interviewer might even ask, can you describe a time when you had to address a situation where a student felt excluded and how you handled it?
Ooh, that's a powerful question.
It is.
And being prepared with a real-life example will demonstrate your commitment to inclusivity. All right, moving on to question 7. How do you help students develop their photography skills and creativity? It's about finding that balance, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You need to show that you can nurture both technical proficiency and artistic expression. Explain how your teaching methods encourage experimentation, risk-taking, while still providing that solid foundation in the fundamentals.
I love it. And imagine the interviewer asking, how do you differentiate your approach for students who excel in one area but maybe need support in the other?
That's a fantastic follow-up question.
Right. You could discuss how you might encourage a technically strong student to explore different genres, or challenge a creatively minded student to really hone their technical skills.
And here's where RoleCatcher's AI can really help you fine-tune your response.
Yes.
By analyzing the specific job description, it can suggest tailoring your answer to highlight the school's values, their curriculum, even the specific equipment they use.
Wow.
It's amazing. It's like having a personalized cheat sheet.
It is.
For each interview.
Totally.
All right, we're making great progress.
We are.
Let's take a quick break, and then we'll dive into the next set of questions. Okay, so let's jump back into those interview questions. Question number 8 is all about staying current. How do you stay up to date with current trends and developments in photography? Why is this question so important for a teaching role?
Well, it really demonstrates your commitment to lifelong learning, which is crucial for any teacher.
Yeah.
But especially in a field like photography that's constantly evolving.
So how can our listener showcase that commitment to continuous learning during the interview?
Mention specific resources that you use, like photography journals, online communities, or workshops. Share how you apply that new knowledge in the classroom, whether it's introducing a new editing technique or discussing a groundbreaking photographer.
Yeah.
Let that passion for learning shine through.
I love that. And the interviewer might even follow up with, can you give an example of a recent trend in photography that you've incorporated into your teaching?
Oh, that's a good one.
Be ready with a specific example that demonstrates your finger on the pulse.
Excellent point. Now, question 9 delves into the ethical side of things. How do you incorporate ethical considerations into your photography lessons?
Okay.
This might seem surprising at first, but photography does raise some important ethical questions.
It does.
Doesn't it?
Yeah. Issues like copyright privacy, the power dynamics of the photographer's gaze, all incredibly relevant, especially in today's world.
Exactly. Show the interviewer that you're aware of these complexities and you've thought about how to address them in your teaching.
Right.
You might discuss the importance of informed consent when photographing people, particularly in vulnerable communities.
They might even ask, how would you approach teaching students about the potential harm of stereotypes and the power of images to shape perceptions?
That's a great question. And being prepared to discuss those sensitive topics thoughtfully will really demonstrate your maturity and your understanding of the broader impact of photography.
Okay. And finally, we arrive at question 10. How do you foster a love of photography in your students? This gets to the heart of why people teach, doesn't it?
It really does. It's about sharing your passion for photography and inspiring students to see the world through a new lens.
So how can our listener answer this question authentically without sounding cliche?
Think about creating a supportive and encouraging environment where students feel comfortable taking risks and experimenting. Celebrate their successes no matter how big or small. Share your own love of photography through personal anecdotes and projects. Let your enthusiasm be contagious.
The interviewer might even follow up with, can you share a specific moment when you witnessed a student's passion for photography ignite? Having a memorable story ready to share will really make your answer stand out.
Oh, I love that. Now, beyond those 10 questions, remember, RoleCatcher's AI can be your secret weapon. Imagine typing in your initial responses and getting instant feedback on how to tailor them for each specific school or role.
It's like having a personal interview coach analyzing your every word.
It is.
And suggesting improvements based on the job descriptions, the school's website, even their social media presence.
And don't forget about the practice feature. You can actually record yourself answering those tough questions and get AI feedback on your delivery, your body language, your overall presentation.
It's like having a mock interview with a virtual expert who can pinpoint areas for improvement.
Exactly.
And help you build that all-important confidence.
And speaking of confidence, let's touch on another valuable aspect of RoleCatcher, their career guides. These guides not only provide insights into the role of a photography teacher, but also offer a roadmap for career progression.
Okay.
So they outline the different stages of a photography teacher's career, from entry-level to senior positions, giving you a clear vision of where you can go in this field.
So, for example, an entry-level photography teacher might assist senior teachers, support students with basic techniques, help set up exhibitions.
Right. It's all about building those foundational skills.
Then as you move into a junior role, you start conducting your own classes and workshops.
That's right.
Guiding students in developing their own style and experimenting with more advanced techniques.
And in a mid-level position, you take on more leadership responsibilities, like designing and delivering entire photography courses, mentoring junior teachers, and conducting research to stay ahead of the curve.
That's quite a journey. And what about those who reach the senior level?
Senior photography teachers are leading and managing entire departments.
Wow.
They're developing curriculum enhancements, conducting advanced workshops, forging industry partnerships. They're the mentors, the visionaries, shaping the future of photography education.
It's amazing to see that progression laid out so clearly.
Right.
It gives you a sense of purpose and direction as you embark on this career path.
Absolutely. And RoleCatcher even provides example profiles of people at each stage.
Oh, wow.
Sharing their experiences and insights, which can be so inspiring and helpful as you envision your own journey.
Now let's talk about the work environment itself. The career guide paints a really vivid picture of what you can expect day to day.
You'll likely spend a lot of time on your feet interacting with students, guiding them through projects, providing feedback. You'll also be working with a variety of photography equipment. Setting up shoots, managing resources.
And of course, you'll be spending time in the darkroom or in front of a computer. Editing images and helping students develop their technical skills.
The guide also mentions the importance of building relationships with students, parents, and colleagues. Creating a positive and collaborative work environment is crucial for success in this role.
It sounds like a really dynamic and rewarding environment for someone who's passionate about photography and education.
Absolutely. And with the insights provided by RoleCatcher, you can walk into that interview feeling prepared, confident, and ready to impress.
All right. Before we move on to the final part of our deep dive, let's take a moment to consider the future of photography education. How do you see this field evolving in the coming years?
That's a great question. As technology continues to advance at an unprecedented pace, the role of a photography teacher will undoubtedly transform.
So what new skills and knowledge do you think will become even more essential for photography teachers in the future?
Well, adaptability will be key. Teachers will need to be comfortable embracing new technologies
Right.
and integrating them into their teachings. They'll also need to be skilled at helping students navigate the ethical and social implications of these technologies.
And what about the content of photography education itself? Do you think there will be a shift in focus?
I believe we'll see a growing emphasis on visual literacy and critical thinking skills. Students will need to be able to not only capture compelling images, but also to analyze
Yeah.
and interpret them within a broader cultural and historical context.
That's fascinating. So in addition to mastering the technical aspects of photography,
Right.
future photography teachers will need to be well-versed in media studies, visual culture, even ethics.
Exactly. They'll be guiding students to become not just skilled photographers, but also informed and responsible citizens
Wow.
in a world increasingly saturated with images.
That's a powerful vision for the future of photography education.
It is.
And with platforms like RoleCatcher providing those cutting-edge resources and insights aspiring fame, photography teachers can be at the forefront of this exciting evolution.
Absolutely. By staying curious, embracing new technologies, and fostering a love of learning, photography teachers can really shape the future
Yeah.
of this dynamic and impactful field.
Right. We've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive,
We have.
but there's still more to explore. Let's take a short break and then wrap things up with some final thoughts and advice. All right, so we've talked about the interview questions, even the future of the field.
Yeah.
But there's one more crucial aspect to becoming a successful photography teacher, and that's you.
That's right. It's not just about skills and knowledge.
Right.
It's about bringing your authentic self to the classroom.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, let's talk about some personal qualities
Okay.
that can make a real difference in your teaching journey.
I like that.
First and foremost, passion. If you're genuinely excited about photography, that passion will be contagious.
Oh, yeah.
It'll inspire your students and create a vibrant learning environment.
Absolutely.
What about patience?
Ooh.
Teaching can be challenging at times, especially when working with students who are struggling or resistant.
Patience is key.
It is.
Remember that everyone learns at their own pace, and it's your job to create a supportive environment where students feel comfortable making mistakes
Yeah.
and asking questions.
And speaking of support, what about empathy?
Empathy is crucial for building strong relationships with your students. Understand their perspectives,
Yeah.
their challenges, and their goals. When students feel seen and heard, they're more likely to engage
Right.
and thrive.
I love that. And what about creativity?
Well, as a photography teacher, you'll need to be creative not only in your own photography, but also in your teaching methods.
Yeah.
Think outside the box, come up with engaging projects, and inspire students to experiment and explore.
And of course, communication is key.
Absolutely. You'll be communicating with students, parents, colleagues, administrators. Effective communication is essential for building those relationships,
Right.
resolving conflicts, and creating a harmonious learning environment.
Now remember, RoleCatcher's resources can help you develop these personal qualities as well.
That's right.
Their career guides offer tips on effective communication, classroom management, building those positive relationships.
And their AI-powered tools can provide that personalized feedback
Yeah.
on your interview responses, helping you showcase your passion, empathy, and enthusiasm.
So as you prepare for that interview, don't just focus on the technical aspects.
Right.
Take some time to reflect on your own personal strengths and values. How can you bring your unique perspective and passion to this role?
That's a great question to ponder. And remember, there's no one right answer. Being a photography teacher is about finding your own style,
Yeah.
your own voice, and inspiring students in your own unique way.
So embrace the journey, the challenges, and the rewards, and never lose sight of that magic that photography can bring to your life and the lives of your students.
And with the insights and support provided by RoleCatcher,
Yeah.
you can walk into that interview feeling confident, prepared, and ready to embark on this incredible adventure.
So that wraps up our deep dive into the world of photography teachers.
I hope you enjoyed it.
We hope you found this episode informative, inspiring, and empowering.
Remember, teaching is a calling,
It is.
a passion, a journey. And with the right tools and mindset, you can make a real difference in the lives of your students.
So go out there, capture those amazing moments, and ignite a love of photography in the next generation.
And never stop exploring, learning, and growing yourself.
Right.
That's the beauty of this profession. It's a lifelong adventure.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll see you next time.